to Rosie Makes. Today we're going to come back and explore solids, liquids, and gases. We're going to explore these states of matter with physical and chemical changes. First, we're going to start with a nice and easy physical change using four 1-inch strips or 6 1/2-inch strips to make a bouncing pumpkin. Now you're going to take your ruler and measure your 1-inch or 1/2-inch strips. You can measure them horizontally or vertically. Once you've measured your strips, you're going to cut them out with your scissors. First, you're going to glue both of your strips into X shapes. Then you're going to glue the 2 cross shapes or X's together. You should end up with a shape like this. You're going to take the 2 ends of our little almost bouncing pumpkin and glue them together. And then repeat with all of the strips. And now that you have done this gluing, you should wait for them to dry. You can add any decoration like a stem or a leaf or anything like that. You might even want to turn yours into a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. By just cutting up strips of paper and gluing them together, we were able to make a physical change. Now let's move on to our chemical one. We're going to start off with the same things we did with our pumpkin, strips of paper. And do you know what paper is made of? Trees. And inside of trees or paper is a substance called cellulose. Have you ever made paper mache before? If you haven't, you can make it with just flour and water. This is paper mache paste, just what I have here. Inside flour is something called starch. When you mix starch and cellulose together, you get long shapes of molecules. And that's what helped make the hard substance of paper mache. So instead of a physical change, we're going to explore a chemical change with this one. To do this, you're going to get a balloon and blow a little bit of air to it. Make sure you aren't putting your balloon too big, and then you're going to tie it off. Then you're going to find something to put your balloon in, like this, or something that can hold it up. Now you're going to take a piece of paper and coat it in your paste. Remember to take off all the extra stuff because you don't want it to be too wet. Now that you have removed all of the extra paste, you're going to bring it onto your balloon like this. When you're putting it on, make sure it's nice and soft on the balloon. These parts can stay loosey-loosey. This is your ghost. You're going to repeat the same way like we did with our pumpkin, except don't tie everything up and glue it on. And you're going to need about 4 to 5 strips. Now here's the hard part. You have to wait for it to dry. And an easier way to speed this up is getting a hairdryer. This might take 1 to 2 hours, so we made another one ahead of time. When your ghost is totally dry, you can pop the balloon and take it out of your structure. You can do with anything you want with this as you wish, like these eyes and the smell. And if you notice, this soft paper and this sticky substance turned into really hard paper. If you feel this compared to this, you'd agree. This is because the starch and the cellulose hold on tight to each other and made a new substance. Now here comes my favorite project of the day, which is Brew. And this is a good old-fashioned chemical reaction. That rhymes. For this project, you need hydrogen peroxide, acid yeast, food coloring, and a bit of soap. Inside of my witch's cauldron, I have half of hydrogen peroxide, 4 squirts of soap, and a bit of food coloring. Now comes the fun part when we're going to add the yeast in. And put on some science goggles, and if you don't have those, just protective eye covering like sunglasses and things. Bubble, 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 and bubble, fire, whatever, make this bubble. The yeast and the hydrogen peroxide mix together to create a witch's gas, or you can say a gas, but I'm just going with witch's gas because I'm an active witch.
Yep.
It's green from the food coloring and extra bubbly from the soap. I hope you enjoyed our spooktacular creations with the witch's brew, bouncing pumpkins, and ghosts.